Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're diving into a really fascinating article that asks a simple but kind of tricky question. How do you actually define yourself? We're going to explore this idea of moving past those stiff, formal job titles to build a personal story that really gets to the heart of who you are.
So let's start with a little thought experiment. Picture this. You're on TV, doing an interview. The camera's right on you, and that little title bar pops up under your name for everyone to see. What does it say? I mean, does senior analyst or project manager really capture everything about you? This idea is really the perfect place to start, because it makes you realize almost instantly how limiting just one single label can be.
And that's really the core of it, isn't it? Our lives, our skills, our passions, they're this complex, messy mix of experiences. So trying to cram all that into one official-sounding title, it just feels like it's missing the point, you know? It doesn't even come close to showing the full picture of what we do and who we are.
Okay, so this really breaks it down. On one side, you've got your traditional job titles. They're usually singular, they're rigid, and someone else gives them to you. But on the other side, we have these self-proclaimed titles. You can have more than one, they can change and evolve, and, here's the most important part, they are authored by you. It's a huge shift from being put in a box to writing your own story.
So, to see how this really works, we're going to take a look at the list that the author, Clemens, made for himself. Think of it like a mosaic of his identity. First up, we're going to dig into the titles that really define his professional side in this, crazy modern world of work.
Let's look at a few of these. I mean, sure, technical business analyst, that sounds pretty standard. But then you get something like gap filler. That's not a formal job, that's a mindset. Or pragmatic strategist, which is all about how you approach things. And then there's builder. Builder? What is that?
Well, builder is such a great example of a title that comes from a specific subculture. It's straight out of the crypto world. It's kind of a play on the meme hodl, which means to hold on for dear life. But builder isn't about just holding on. It's about actively building and creating stuff. It basically tells people you're a creator in that space, not just someone watching from the sidelines.
In this quote, it just perfectly captures the whole spirit behind a title like gap filler. It gets right to the point. It's not about staying in your lane or waiting for someone to tell you what to do. It's about seeing a need, seeing a gap, and jumping in to help. It's an attitude, and this title nails it. All right, so let's keep going because we are so much more than just our jobs, right? Now we're going to look at the titles that get into the personal, the creative, the curious sides of who we are, all those passions that really light us up outside of the typical 9 to 5.
And just look at how different these are. Writer of lists of 30. I love that. It's so specific and personal to him. Technology philosopher. That suggests someone who's really curious about the world around them. And honestly, who wouldn't want to be a professional daydreamer? These titles just show so much more personality than anything you'd find on a resume.
I love this quote because it makes the title visual linguist so real. It's not some lofty, abstract idea, no. It's the simple, super relatable act of drawing boxes and arrows on a whiteboard to make complicated stuff easy for people to understand. It just shows how a simple skill can become a huge part of your identity.
Okay, so we've seen some cool examples, but so what? Why does any of this actually matter? Well, this gets us to the really powerful idea behind this whole thing, the power of telling your own story.
Here's the bottom line. The story you tell about yourself is your first impression. It sets the stage for how people see you, what they think you can do, and how they connect with you. So this whole exercise is really about taking back control of that story. In this quote, which actually comes from the author's own title of narrative consultant, it just says it all. This is about refusing to let other people put you into a neat little bucket. It's about empowerment, giving yourself the freedom to tell your own story with your own unique spin. And the best part is, this is something you can totally do for yourself. Here's a simple way to think about it. First, just take some time to reflect on all the things you do, your job, your hobbies, your passions. Then, have some fun with it. Create your own unique titles. Third, actually write down how you'd introduce yourself using these new titles. And finally, go share that story.
Which, of course, brings us to the last and maybe the most important part of all this. This isn't just about someone else's list anymore. It's about yours. What are the titles that truly define you? So if you take one thing away from our time today, let it be this. You are this amazing collection of skills, passions, and experiences. You are not one single boring label. You're a mosaic. You're a story that's still being written.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought.
You have the power to define who you are, to choose which parts of yourself you want to share with the world. You are so much more than just one thing. So, who do you want to be today?